Welcome, Blade Banter. We're going to talk about specs, opinions, and discussions. Since I am toying around with the Lyman pull gauge, and I did upgrade my internet, so I do have a much better upload speed. So hopefully this live stream will go a whole lot better than it used to, because I went from zero point 0.8 megabytes per second upload to 20. So this should be amazing, hopefully. So now with the suggestion of Patty's potato peelers, I'm going to go through every single flipper that I own. Granted, my collection is not very huge, so about 11 knives, but I wanted to get a baseline for the amount of pressure needed to actually actuate the flipper tab on these knives, so I can get a baseline for the knives that really have absolutely almost no pressure to actually actuate the flipper tab to the ones that would actually hurt your finger. Granted, there's other things that would go into play with that, as far as the jimping on the flipper tab, the shape of it, a lot of different things go into that. But just as far as the pressure needed to actuate is kind of what we're going for on this one. So we're going to go through quite a few different pulls for the knives itself. So about 5 per, and then an average. And then what I'm going to be using this video for is going back through and then compiling the information so I can actually put onto like a spreadsheet, so I can get that baseline, and then I can actually, for future testing, I can actually slot things into those. So it's going to be a long video, so if you would want to just kind of have me play in the background, or if you want to not watch this video, I'd recommend going to something else, because it is going to be a long video that I'm going to go through 11 of those knives, and then we're going to get that average as well. So starting out, so we're going to be doing the pull. So of course, starting out with some of the speed safe type of knives. So my Kershaw is kind of where we're going to start with that. So we're going to do those 5 pulls on it. And granted, I might not get any viewers during this time period. So if you do want to watch this after the fact, you can do that. You can also probably skip through to see a certain knife that you want to look at itself. So some of this might be kind of like the whole watching grass grow, or something similar to that, but it is somewhat interesting to me to try and figure out some of this information, so I can actually translate that to something that you guys could actually use on your end. And so Kershaw leak, this one is going to be at that 1 pound 4 ounces. The average on that is 1 pound 3.6. As far as a metric system, that's going to be 557. I think that's grams. So 557. So that's going to be that first one. So I'm assuming there's going to be the lowest side. So I kind of put in that order of range, just flipping them before doing this test to see where we're going to be. So we're going to clear that off and move on to the next one. So another Kershaw here. Actually, move you guys up a little bit too. One moment. Sorry about that. So that's the first one. Actually, we'll start over on that one. I'm just using really a utensil holder from my kitchen just for a base, so I'm not trying to pull on it or adjust for the pull. So I'm doing just a downward pressure to gain the weight. I didn't want to actually affect that with holding the knife, so that's why I just went and got this base to utilize within this shot. And at some point I probably will miscount as far as how many times I pull, so that might throw off some of my average, but that should be 3. And if I do get people to sign on, then I probably will start up my tablet to see any type of comments as well. So average on that one, so 2 pounds 4.6 ounces, or 1 kilogram 35 grams. Not really good with the metric system, so if anybody can kind of help me out with that one, I will probably have to look into that. So it's a little bit different on that side, especially 1,035 grams. So quite a bit on that one. So I'll move on to the other one. Those are my 2 Kershaws for the Speed Safe. This is kind of, I don't know if I'm going to be able to even do this one, but this is my Boker grip lock. I might have to bypass this one. So that might work. Or not. I balance it on that little tab there, so I think I'm going to bypass this one, but very little on that. But I'm going to put that one back, because since I can't really get an accurate number for that, or something that's going to be really easily repeatable. And then we'll move on to one of my favorites as far as CRKT. I did actually take the clip off of the Caligo to place onto the Titac 2. My Caligo would have been part of this test, but it is currently out for warranty work. I do have some other videos coming up. I did get in 2 packages that I've been waiting to make a video for, so I'm going to probably record that right after this to see what actually came in, because those 2 packages, I do know what I ordered, just some of them I just don't know how they would actually, how I'm going to like them. And this might be one of those points where I already forgot how many times I pulled this. So I think this is the 5th one. So average on that one is 1 pound 8.1 ounces with grams of 683. That's for the CRKT Titac 2. It's a very inexpensive knife here. one thing that was brought up as far as the ability to see the screen, so I'm going to tilt it back a little bit so it can actually be seen a little bit better for lighting. So I did actually slip off there. So 1 pound 11 ounces on that one, and 765 as far as grams. So Kershaw Skyline, average on that one, 2 pounds 3.6 ounces, and 1,010 grams as far as that pull. So we are stepping up a little bit on the weight as far as the amount of pressure needed to actually actuate the flipper tab, which was somewhat expected as far as the start of the video, due to the fact of just flipping the knives by themselves. If anybody's still on the video, I do give you credit because it's 13 minutes in, and I don't think I've really said anything really interesting, and I think I lost count again. And probably not the best way to do this. So 1 pound, 11.3 ounces at 773 grams, and I am going to do that one again just because I think I messed that one up fairly badly. So some of the accuracy seems pretty repeatable as far as not something that's really too off. And that one, so some of those are actually spot on. So 2 pounds 8 ounces. That one's going to be for the rake P801, and that's going to be 930 grams. And then one of my CH knives. I did forget 2 of my CH knives actually. So I actually have 13 knives as far as flippers. So I will have to put those into the video later, or at least add it to the data. This one seems really off. £2 13. So that one's getting a lot of different ratings, possibly due to the shape of the flipper tab itself. I'm not getting a good purchase on it. So that was a CH 1407. So 1,292 grams at £2 13.3. Actually, that's not the average. So £2 14.1 at 1,308 grams. Clear that one. So though this knife is really enjoyable, it does have a fair amount of pressure needed to actuate the flipper tab on the Beluga from I think that's number 4. So for that one, £3 9.6 at 1,634 grams. I'm sorry, I didn't average that again. So 1,670 grams at £3 10.9 ounces. So definitely getting up there as far as pressure needed. And this one might actually be more caused by the flipper tab, but this one actually feels like it needs a lot of pressure for the Kershaw fraction, because it does have a fairly amount of heavy jimping on the tab itself. So it's kind of up there. That's kind of an odd one. So average of £3 7.2 ounces at 1,566. So again, these are a lot of them that you're going to have to be possibly flipping. Even though that it is an enjoyable action, there is some type of wear it's going to have on your thumb or index finger as far as the use of these knives. So surprisingly, this one, it felt like it was needing a lot of pressure to deploy, but it really is not. This is the CRKT-GSD. So average of down is 1 pound, 1,163 grams at 2 pounds, 9 ounces for that one. So definitely it was up there. That last one threw me off because it was actually in grams when I was doing the pull on it. But so that's kind of a base scale. So I'm going to translate that into more of the spreadsheet side of things, so I can try and figure that out across that range, because it definitely is to a point where, so if you're working with something like a leak, yeah, there's like almost no pressure that you're putting onto the flipper tab, so it wouldn't really cause any tactile feel difference with your finger. When you go up to like the Kershaw fraction, this one flips as far as in and out very well, but it does take some wear and tear on your finger or thumb, whichever one you're using to actuate. But granted, if you have like crazy callus on your hands or whatever else, it wouldn't matter to you at all. But that's something that I am looking at for this. So again, if anybody really made it to the end of this video, I would be extremely surprised. So if anybody, so I guess a test to that, I don't know what we'll do for that. I'm trying to think about a random thing to actually say to see if somebody can put that in the comment or something, but I can't really think of one. Yeah. But anyway, so we'll see what comes about as far as that information goes. And so let's just put in for a blue pen at 23 minutes and 25 seconds. So if you put in blue pen at 23 minutes and 25 seconds, then at least I know that you skipped to the end, or if I knew that you actually watched all 20, almost 4 minutes now of video. But those are all the flipper ones that I have. I did forget 2 upstairs. As far as the other CH knives, I have the CH3510 and the CH3001 that I did forget to grab. And I do actually have one person on here, surprisingly. So you're right at the end of the video. But I wouldn't recommend going all the way back through it. It's a little bit boring, but I was trying to figure out I went through every single one of my flipper knives to try and get some type of baseline. So I'm going to use this video to go back and actually put in a spreadsheet to see from lowest to highest as far as the pressure needed to actually actuate the flipper tab. And I did hit that again. But that's going to be, of course, from something like the leak all the way up to some of the other ones like the Best Tech. The Best Tech actually has some of the most pressure needed to actually actuate, even though it does operate well for that. So I do appreciate you checking in. It doesn't say who this is, so if you could leave that in the comments, then that would be awesome. But I will be signing off from this one. I do have 2 other videos I'm going to be putting up. I'm going to be recording here in a little bit. Just some of the boxes that came in as far as that initial impression on some of those. And then I'm going to kind of go from there. But I will see what that turns out to be. But I do appreciate checking in. If anybody can make it through the entire video, I give you mad credit. Very impressive, because it is a lot of information that might not be useful to some, but it is something that is interesting and hopefully will turn into something that can be a baseline for some information that can be communicated as far as the use of a knife, enjoyability of a knife, and everything like that. So I do appreciate it. Going to be signing off. 25 minutes. Yeah, that is a long time to be putting through on all these videos, but went through every one of these. Did 5 pulls per on the Lyman pull gauge, using this little thing to just prop the knife up on. Do appreciate it. Check in, leave a comment for that one person, whoever you are. leave a comment so I know who was actually watching. And thank you very much for your time.